Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube live video. And I'm just out here double checking that everything looks good, which hopefully it does, and hopefully the sound is good this week. I know last week we had some sound issues, so hopefully that's all fixed and taken care of though. Anyway, so I think looks like we're good to go. Let me know again if you have trouble with the sound on it. Let me know because I have it muted on my side. I can only see comments and that sort of thing. So because I don't want to hear myself talking in the background. So if you are joining today, feel free to pop in and say hello. Today we are going to be playing with a fun little stamp set that is in the new Stampin' Up! Catalog. It's the catalog that ordering starts on June 3rd, and it's one of the new host exclusive stamp sets called Summer Days. And this is the card we're making, but this is the stamp set that we use today. So it is a red rubber stamp, and it's got some really cute images for coloring for summer and just some kind of fun kid images. So definitely a good stamp set. So hey, Karen, thanks for hopping in, and let me know if the sound is good today. Hopefully, I'm hoping we don't have the same issue we did last week. So, so we've got our Summer Days stamp set that we're going to be using for the background or for the focal image on it. And then I also use the Friend Like You photopolymer stamp set. Perfect. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Thanks so much. Phew. Hey, Pat, thanks for joining today. I'm glad you're out here. So I'll also use the Friend Like You stamp set, and Barbara's here as well. So thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So I got the Friend Like You stamp set, which I use for the sentiment. Just use the Enjoy the Little Things, which I thought was kind of cute with the image of the girl sitting under the tree reading her book, because, you know, days like today would be a good day to do that. It's like, I think it's 80 degrees or something like that out here today. So, hey, Patricia, glad you're joining. So it's a beautiful day here, a little breezy and probably a little more pollen floating around than I would like, but I can't complain too much on it because it's been kind of cool here the last, most recently. So I'm kind of glad that we're getting a few warmer days. So this is the card we're making today, and I posted the details for it out of my blog already, and I will definitely, is 83 out when you checked? I know it's somewhere around that. I went outside and I'm like, gosh, I don't think I need jeans on today. I had a short sleeve shirt and everything. So the details for this are already posted on my or on my blog today, and I will link up directly to the blog post as soon as I get done with this video. So you'll be able to find the link to the blog post out in the comment section, or the details section, I guess, on this video. So, hey, Tina, I'm glad that you're here. So, you thought of me when I saw that stamp set. It does kind of look like my older daughter, and that's totally her. Is nose in a book all the time, and so yeah, it definitely looks like her, and it reminds me of her too. So, a couple other things that I used on this card is I used the largest of the stitched nested labels dies, which these are in the current annual catalog, and they will be in the next annual catalog as well. So I'm happy about that because they're a great set of dies. And then the other die that I used is the larger of the circle dies, and I'm going to hold these up kind of close, so hopefully you can see them well if I hold them still on the video. These are the Tasteful Labels dies, and these are in the new upcoming catalog that will be available to purchase beginning on June 3rd. So this is a fantastic set of dies. I love that they're either stitched or kind of have that line embossed around them. These are stitched in kind of a zigzaggy look to them. So this is an awesome set of dies, and I know I'm going to be using it a ton. So I don't know that they'll replace, hey, Angela, I'm glad you're here. So I don't know that they'll replace my stitched rectangle dies, but they'll be close as far as sentiments go. This is a really good die set. Again, it's coming in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog that will be starting on June 3rd. The next thing I used for the background, which I know you're not going to be able to see. Hey, Diane, I'm glad you're here too. So glad you found me. I know it's going to be hard to see on the video. And it's just such a nice subtle background. I'm hoping you can see it on the embossed part of this. This is the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and it is a beautiful. It's a little more. It's not as subtle as the subtle embossing folder, if that makes sense. There's a little bit more texture to it, but it's really nice. It's sort of like, kind of looks like fabric almost to me, like a. I don't know, and not really sweater fabric, but just a fabric look to it. So it's a very cool embossing folder. And again, this is going to be available in the upcoming Stampin' Up! Catalog. So if you can hold on till June 3rd, or you can join early and get it too, because it's part of the pre-order. So yay for that. So anyway, so that is the card. That's what we're making today. So I went ahead and did a little bit ahead of time. So maybe burlap is the way to describe it. I don't know. It's, to me, it's not quite as much texture as burlap, but I don't know. But it's cool. It's very cool. Like I said, it's like a fabric is, I don't even know. I can't, yeah, fabric is really the only thing that I can say. And I realized that after the fact, I think I put in my blog post and everything, got this all prepped and ready. And I think I said everything was balmy blue. And in fact, this is Seaside Spray, so never mind that. We're using balmy blue today. They're similar in color, but as I was putting stuff together, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the right color. And everything was all done, and anyway, it's too late. So so hopefully you like it. Just you'll get to see a little tiny different version of it than what I have posted on my blog today. And like I said, I think even in the blog post, I think I called it balmy blue because for whatever reason, I was sure that it was balmy blue, and it's not. It's Seaside Spray that I used on the original, but we're making a balmy blue one, so I'm calling it good. All right. So I've got a piece of early espresso cardstock cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have got the embossed piece of balmy blue cardstock, and this is cut to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm just adhering them together with a little bit of multi-purpose or the green glue, sticking it together that way. All right, and then I've got a piece of the awesome, which I don't even know how else to describe it other than awesome, new In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So it's just a little piece of it. It's wood grain on one side and it's tile on the other, which is awesome. In this same pack, it's a huge pack of paper. It's 24 sheets instead of the normal 12, and it's got all different designs. So it's an awesome pack of paper. So, hey, Rosie, glad that you're here. So if you haven't seen it, go back and look at my video that I did. I want to say it was the 6th of May is when I posted the video. And it's got sneak peeks of the upcoming catalog stuff in it. And that pack of paper is one of the things that I showed you in it. So it's a really, really good pack of paper. So, yeah, you know how much I dislike that DSP. You're right. So, but yes, I may or may not have already purchased another pack of that designer paper because I have to have reserves. I don't want to run out because it's awesome. So, all right, so we've got a little piece of designer paper that I adhered to a piece of early espresso cardstock. The early espresso is cut to 2 1/8 by 3 7/8, and the designer paper is cut to 2 inches by 3 7/8. And again, all the details for this are posted out on my blog, so no need to worry about writing stuff down and keeping track of the sizes and all that sort of things. It's all out there already, and I'll link up to it. If you can't find the blog post, I'll link up to it after we get done here. So let me set this aside. Hey, Tia, thanks for hopping in from Oklahoma. Hope that you're doing well today. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. I pre-stamped this in Tuxedo Black Memento ink on Whisper White cardstock and cut it out with the largest of the stitched nested labels dies. And we're just going to do some quick coloring on it. This is crumb cake that we're starting with, and I'm starting with the light crumb cake marker. And whoops, I hear the sirens going outside, so there's a little emergency somewhere down the road. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but don't be disturbed. It's not a tornado, nothing traumatic. They just ring them for whatever reason. Every time we have any kind of an emergency where someone calls and needs an ambulance or a fire truck or anything, they ring the bell, and it's crazy. I guess that's small town living, I don't know. So went back and added in a little bit of the dark crumb cake, and then I'm blending them together with a little bit more light crumb cake. Next thing, we're going to color the top of the tree, and I used Granny Apple Green because I wanted it to be kind of a nice little summer colored card, and I did not do a really fantastic job of coloring extremely neatly. This is exactly what I did when I was coloring it on my sample card. Is I just sort of took my marker and went around and just kind of followed the little bump line along here and just kind of colored out the edges so that hopefully I won't go too far out of the lines, which I usually always do anyway, and then just went back over it and very messily covered it with light Granny Apple Green ink. And got the whole kind of most of the tree covered here. And then I came back in with my dark Granny Apple Green and just sort of went in a few places here where we've got kind of the bunches of leaves showing. and just added a little dash of color. And not even, again, not very neatly, just kind of went in, added a little like dot of color over the area where the leaves were at. So messily, yeah, well, messily isn't a word for you. It is for me. I thought it was a Midwestern thing. Come on, Rosie, you got to back me up on this. So messily, yeah, I guess. All right, so adding a little bit back in. If you don't like some of these places here where I got a little probably heavy-handed on it, I can always come back in with my light granny apple green and sort of blend things together a little bit. So if I'm not loving the way that it turned out, I can always come back in and add a little bit more color. So it is a fun set. I'm glad that you like it too. So Mary and I, well, Mary makes up a lot of words. I do not. I'm sure that if I looked up messily in the dictionary, I'm sure it would be there. Come on, again. Come on, y'all. You need to back me up on this. So, all right. So I'm going to add also a little bit of color here with the underneath the tree and the girl. There's a little bit of grass. So we're just going to add a little bit of light and dark granny apple green in here as well. And again, just I didn't really neatly color this. I messily colored it. And swapped it out, added a little bit of dark in there with it as well. The next thing I did was I colored her little sweater, and just going to try not to get too much in her hair, which I just did, but that's okay because I'm using a brown color to color over it, so we're good. So I used just the light Flirty Flamingo is what I used on the sweater. So you Googled messily. See? It is. See, it is a word. See? I didn't totally make it up. Okay, well, I kind of did. So there. Look at that. Using on this one, like I said, on the original, I used Seaside Spray, and I was not paying attention, and I pulled out Balmy Blue today. So that's what we're using on it. The hair color, I used light soft suede. Just because I wanted it to be a little different color than the tree. I didn't want her hair to blend in completely with the tree. So doing a little coloring with that, and then came back in with the dark and colored her shoes in with the dark soft suede. So well, I'm glad that you're enjoying the entertaining, comments and speak or whatever you want to call it that I'm doing, the words I'm making up. And see, I wasn't totally making them up. So there. Bit of color. I guess I should color her little legs in as well. So I used the ivory on her face, and we need to. And I may do her book a different color. So I've got So Saffron for the butterflies. See there. See, now Tina's backing me up too. So you guys need to, like I said, it's. I was only a little bit making up words. So, and I realized I forgot. Hold on, let me grab my markers. Good thing they're fairly close. I forgot that I had used Highland Heather. I'm telling you, it's used Highland Heather to color in her little book. So, all right, so that is the basics of the coloring for it. What I did do, and I'm sure, I don't know how well you can see it. See, Tina looked it up, so I'm not making everything up. I don't know how well you can see it, but I actually traced around the image in light Pool Party ink with my Stampin' Blends marker. Hey, Sharon, glad that you're here. So, too much wearing masks, it does. It's definitely messed with my brain, I will say that. I don't know. So I just went and took my light Pool Party ink and just did a little outline. Again, not very, a really precise outlining or anything like that. Just kind of went around and added a little bit of what I wanted to look like, sort of shading and sky is what I wanted it to look like, without having to color the entire thing in, because I thought about coloring in all of the sky and all of the grass and all that, and then I thought, I think it's going to be too much. So that was why I kind of opted to go with the just trace around it in the light ink. And I think it just adds enough color that you can sort of get by with not having to color the whole thing. So, like I said, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here on the screen, because I know it's very, very light. Once it dries, the color is very, very light on it. So, all right, so we've got the main focal image done. So we're going to do a little bit of gluing here. And again, just using liquid glue. And not very neatly applying that, but no matter, because nobody can see it anyway. So main thing I wanted to worry about on here is I wanted it sort of scooted down towards the bottom, and then tried to keep it so that it was straight. Those are the two main things that I focused on here when I was gluing it down to the card front, and hopefully I accomplished both of those. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a little bit of ribbon. This is ribbon from the new catalog that's coming, and it is Early Espresso, and it is called Faux Suede Trim. And I know that you can't, I wish you could like reach through the camera and feel it, because it is so soft. It's really nice ribbon. At least in my opinion, it's really nice ribbon. So it just has a really nice soft texture to it, and I really like it a lot. So, but really like it a lot. Apparently I'm saying that a lot because I really like a lot of the stuff in this new catalog. So, all right, so I took a little bit of ribbon and just sort of placed it and did a little Z type of fold on the card front. Tried to keep it from getting too wild and crazy. And hopefully I should double check that I made it wide enough. Yep, it's wide enough that it's peeking out. That was the other thing. I wanted to make sure that it was peeking out around the sentiment. So I have accomplished that as well. So let me see if I can get this trimmed. There we go. And again, just used a little snail and then just sort of looped it, made a little Z formation with the ribbon, which again, the snail and all the icky part will be hidden underneath my sentiment. So you're definitely, don't need to worry about getting that put on there too terribly neatly. So I pre-cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock, again with the, I was going to pull them out, and of course I can't, here they are. The Tasteful Labels dies, and I used the larger of the circles. So again, these are coming in the upcoming catalog. Maybe I can get this to work. There we go. Inking it up. Again, I'm using Balmy Blue ink, since that was the color blue that I decided to go with for whatever reason. I still don't really know why I use Balmy Blue on one and Seaside Spray on the other, but I think, thankfully, just using kind of neutral colors, I think you can get away with whatever color of blue you would like to do. So I'm going to adhere on the sentiment, and I'm using my little half dimensionals, which, again, we've had the discussion, so I probably don't need to do it again. Some people love them, some people do not. Using those to adhere my sentiment on. But again, what I like about them is that I can stick them around the edges of the ribbon and then place my sentiment over the top of it, so I don't have to worry so much about how I'm sticking them to the back of the sentiment. So I know that it's going to be in the right place because I've put it around the ribbon, and I'm not going to have to worry about it being uneven and kind of weird and lumpy underneath the ribbon. So yeah, well, I'm glad you like both cards. Like I said, this one's, I don't know, probably a little more calming, and this one's a little bit brighter blue, but I think they both work. So put a little rhinestone next to the sentiment here, and that's basically it for the card front until we stick it on to the crumb cake card base. For this card, I made it, again, it's at a little different opening, so it opens like this. And then for this card, it's going to be more of the book fold card. You can have the exact same card made for the card front and just do a different card base. This one is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then your standard card base that opens like a book is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So same design, just, like I said, just a little different way in the way they open. So while I'm peeling these off, I just wanted to remind you, if you haven't taken a peek at my new catalog designer paper shares, be sure you go and do that. I'm offering shares of all the new designer paper packs from the upcoming catalog. And I have single shares and double shares available. So if you're interested in joining my share, drop me a quick email with what you would like for your share, and I will add you to my list and send you a little PayPal invoice as we get closer to the date that catalog ordering goes live. So let me know if you have questions on that. I'd be happy to have you come join in the share. So for the little inside of the card, I went ahead and pre-stamped. Again, this is the image from the Summer Days stamp set. Stamped it in Tuxedo Black Memento ink and just did a little bit of coloring on it with So Saffron for, I better make sure, oh, that's the dark. Eek. So, So Saffron for his shirt. And I actually did add a little bit of dark So Saffron in, but I didn't want to start with that one necessarily. Used Granny Apple Green for the grass. Make sure I've got the light one, as well as his hat. I don't know why I picked green for the hat, but evidently I thought green would be a good hat color. So, and then I used the balmy blue for his shorts. And while I'm coloring this, I also wanted to remind you that the retiring list is still going on, Stampin' Up's retiring sale. So there's a lot of good products and good deals that are on sale right now while supplies last. So make sure that you get your orders put in soon if you haven't done it already to get those last few items from the current catalogs, because those are going to be going away. Anything on that retiring list is going to be going away before the new catalog starts. So you can't like cross combine the two. So let me know if you have questions on that. You can find the retiring list information out in the online store. So, hey, Charlotte, glad that you're joining today. So, all right, so I did a little bit of coloring with Ivory Stampin' Blends for his skin. And then I used dark soft suede for his shoes and light soft suede, which I don't know if you saw me, just did a little coloring on his hair with the light soft suede. And the only thing I think we have left to do is the kite, and we're going to use Balmy Blue and Highland Heather for that. And make sure I've got, yep, the light Highland Heather. And just color in the little, one of the triangles on the top and one of them on the bottom for his kite. And then do every other little bow, tie, whatever they call those things on a kite. So going to do a little, add in a little bit of shading here with the light and dark Highland Heather, and then we're going to go back with some Balmy Blue. That's the dark, so let me get the light one here, and fill in the final little piece of the kite with that. Oh, and last thing I wanted to let you know, if you are a customer of mine, your catalog got shipped out yesterday. If you, so you should be looking for that in the mail. They're in some pretty little pink mailers that I sent out this time around, which is a little different than what I normally send. So if you are a customer of mine, definitely go take a peek at your mail. Should be coming soon to you. If you're not a customer of mine, but want to be a customer and don't have a catalog yet, let me know. I'm happy to pack one up and ship one to you. So just drop me an email at amy@stampwithamyk.com. And I'll get your catalog going. So, all right, so let's get this glued to the inside. And get that put in. Give it a second to stick. And then we'll just fold the card shut and do a quick crease with the bone folder. And there we are. That is it for today. So this is my sample card made with the Seaside Spray, and then did a little different version with the Balmy Blue. So hopefully you'll like them both. Thanks so much for joining today. I appreciate you being here and spending part of your Friday with me. Haven't gotten yours yet, but you did get your 8-packs, so yay. I haven't actually received my personal copy either. So just so you know, you're not the only one. But yes, I did get my 8-packs of catalog, so I got them packed up and shipped out to my customers, and I held on to one for myself. So I do officially have a catalog, just not the one that I'm supposed to have. But that's okay. So thanks again for joining today. I appreciate y'all being here. I will plan to be live on my Facebook page on Tuesday around 2 o'clock Eastern time. And I will plan to be back out here live on Friday around 2 o'clock Eastern time out on YouTube. So, well, see my messily colored card. See, now y'all learned a new word today too. So that's twice as awesome. Learn some stamping stuff, learn new words. Look at all these great things I'm teaching you. All right, just kidding. All right, have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.